Thanks for having me here. When we really look at industry trends, it's really about automation, electrification, and digitalization. And automation reflected in active safety systems or vehicle autonomy, electrification, we're here in China, obviously, the center of the universe as it relates to battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids, and then digitalization, so connected vehicles. So that's our focus area. It's been our focus area for a number of years, going back over the last decade, and think about safe vehicles, green vehicles, connected vehicles, and that tends to be our focus. And quite frankly, China is leading the global automotive industry in those trends and developing technologies in and around those trends. So everything we're showing here is locally developed. So we've been in China for 35 years. We've been very localized in China from an engineering development standpoint, product development standpoint, to serve the China market. Obviously, a bigger mix of our customers today are the local Chinese OEMs versus our mix of customers 10 or 15 years ago. And again, as I mentioned, they're advancing from an overall technology and driving change, not only here in China, but across the globe. Everything from vehicle advanced ADAS solutions, radar technologies, to vehicle architecture solutions that are really focused on how do we move data faster through a vehicle, how do we optimize the vehicle architecture to enable software-defined vehicles. Over in the far corner there, as you can see, AI-driven manufacturing solutions. And then as you go all the way around the booth, actually taking it to adjacent markets, things like robotics and other technologies where that automation, electrification, digitalization are really driving the advancements in those markets. Listen, I think it's about continuing to execute our existing strategy. As I mentioned, we've been in China for China. Our supply chain is fully localized, both from an input standpoint as well as from a software development standpoint. So we're supporting our customers as they seek to grow in China, remain competitive in China, but we're also very focused on how do we support the China local OEMs as they export vehicles or even manufacture outside of China. So leveraging our China capabilities with our global capabilities, our localized supply chains in various markets so that we can support their growth plans. I think the key thing that we can help the Chinese OEMs bring into other markets and shape those other markets is about China speed and innovation, right? How do we do things quickly and really innovate? In terms of how do we leverage our capabilities? First and foremost, we need to deliver relevant solutions in China for the China market. So supporting those customers to be successful here. But the fact that we operate globally, so we understand and have supply chains in Europe, in the Americas, we understand the local regulations, how products need to be tested, validated. Those are areas where we can bring our strategic relationships here in China, and we can support them as they grow in other markets across our broad product portfolio.